Freaknik Doc dropped, and we did not talk about it, but we all have watched it now. Except I don't know if you watched it, but we'll bring you up to speed, man.
I'm pretty sure I can imagine.
The Freaknik Doc was, the Freaknik Doc was okay. I learned a lot.
Informative, or whatever the word is, informational.
I learned a lot.
I have something to
I
say.
didn't know that the Nick stood for picnic. Like I didn't know
me
was
either.
a picnic.
Yeah, I knew that.
I did know about the college kids and stuff like that, but other than that, it was like I imagined to be. It looked like bike rally.
Yeah, exactly. Like old school bike rally.
No, it was the most epic bike rally ever had. That's what
You
it
could
was.
say that.
I guess.
I heard Florida was nice too during them times. Daytona
Beach for black people. Yes.
Disturbing fact. My mom was there. She told me.
Are your mom with the Freaknik?
She talking about they were drinking Mad Dog 2020s back then.
That
I was like,
sound about
first
right.
of all, that's wino punch right
Definitely.
there. But she said, nah, that was very popular back in
It
the
looked
day.
fun as hell, man.
It looked like a good time.
And it's like the old cameras and stuff. Like it was a different time. Cause it would be hard to have that now because of the cell phones and I don't know. It just would be hard to have that fun type of fun now because people was more like involved within the moment of Freaknik.
Yeah.
I think this era now, people be too concerned about showing the world that's not there that what they missing instead of actually embracing that
That's kind of what happened
moment.
with my spring break. Like as spring break got bigger, you had a lot of videos and things that would come into surface of like what was happening, and so it was like, nah, we can't let this happen down here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also think that's what happened with Freaknik. I think you got to the point where the women were like, all right, this is not okay. You got to the point where some of the men was like, all right, because what you seen was it was a good time, it was fun, and then from another perspective that's not mine, they said the crowd got older. Like more grown men started coming and they got a little bit more aggressive with the women. Mm-hmm. And the aggression turned into rapes and assaults and things like that on women. And I didn't, me personally, just visualizing it, like just what I seen on the 94 footage, on the 96 footage, I didn't see any difference. But when you do think about it, if it was college kids and this was an event for college kids, now that I've been back on the college campus as an older man and I see college kids really do look like kids, then that shit is kind of, you know what I'm saying? There was no place for people over 27, 8, 9, 30.
Yeah, I can see them ruining the experience.
Coming down there because you're a grown-ass man and these are college students. Like, they're kids pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I see how it went dark when you put that type of light on it. But to me, it was no different than a Myrtle Beach. But I think today, all of that stuff, I don't think anything is just, I think because of you got the rise in crime and violence amongst black people, we can say black people. When you go to these events, it used to be peaceful party. Now it's niggas get shot. Somebody get killed. There's always a violent act of crime that happens, even in Miami. Huh?
No, I'm saying always.
Oh, yeah. Even in Miami, during spring break, like they try to do things. Like one of the things that fucked up Freaknik was the traffic control, trying to route traffic. I even seen that at Myrtle Beach during Bike Week. You could only go down. The first time I went, you could go down and come back up. They started directing traffic, so when you got to the end of the strip, you had to leave it. And if you wanted to get back on it, you had to go all the way down to the beginning and start over again. So,
damn.
Things like that to fuck up, the traffic, trying to keep people from loitering. I remember the first time I went out to the bike rally, first couple years, you could take a chair and you could sit out on the strip. They started to come, hey, you got to keep it moving.
That.
You got to keep it moving. You got to keep walking. You can't just stand here.
I remember back in the day, motherfuckers used to be lined up on Myrtle Beach. Back then, it was almost like a parade.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would see the people cruising, but it would be people in their lawn chairs, like, chilling, watching people do whatever they're doing. But it ain't like that now.
It's always a bad apple that ruins the fun.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Niggas go down there. I mean, like I said, niggas go down there with ill intent, and then, it just spreads like wildfire.
So, essentially, they didn't blame it all on Luke.
I mean, Luke brought the freak to Freaknik when you watch the documentary, but he wasn't like the reason. Like Celeb started like that 94 is the one they focused on. They said that was the one because that's when the celebs came. That's when the Different World was talking about it on their shit, a college show about college kids. You got celebrities coming to clubs to perform, so it turns into like this whole weekend that's bringing in $1 million, a couple $1 million for the city.
Yeah, that's a lot in the 90s.
But what really happened was they got the Olympic Games, and when they got the Olympic Games, they had to show that they could control large crowds. And the crowd of Freaknik was kind of like a beta tester.
Yeah.
We get this large crowd that brings $1 million every year. Let's see how we control it. So that's why they were using what they mapped it out, how they wanted the streets to flow, pushing traffic to this way. And it just made the event more unpleasant on top of the other factors of people coming from out of town with this idea of this innocent picnic for college kids that just cut loose and be sexually free. Niggas took that shit to the next level. And instead of, the girls being like, I'm going to show you my titties, they just like, no, you going to show me your titties. So, I mean, you just get all of that in the mix, and just over time, it just went away. They just made it harder and harder to have until you just don't have it anymore. That's kind of what they did with Bike Rally. They made it harder and harder for you to enjoy yourself and have the time you originally had, to the point where it's just like, okay, why do we even want to go? We can't even... like I say, spring break, Memorial Weekend, Miami Beach. You can't even drive on Ocean Drive. Let alone get on Miami Beach. They try to block Miami Beach to the point they don't want traffic on Miami Beach. So that lets me know they trying to cut out cruising. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you cut out cruising, now you got foot traffic. How do we control it? You curfew it. All right, y'all can hang out at the bars, the clubs. You need to be off the strip by 10.
That's
right?
crazy.
And now at this point, you don't want to go because it's like, okay, we can't even have a good time.
Yeah.
So the same shit.
I was just gonna say, once you shut down all the places where people having a good time, they gonna find a place to have a damn good time. Better believe that.
That's what I told you. They go back to the room, the hotel, tear that motherfucker up.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna be good enough. Like, I mean, bro, I don't seen some shit from when people try to stop people having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna find a way. And so I'm just saying, like, this could be a good thing, but this also could be a bad thing as well, because we don't know the outcome of y'all just shutting down all the places where people go to relax.
Well,
this life is hard, bro.
I think the outcome is they stop coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for Myrtle Beach, like, don't nobody go to Myrtle Beach no more.
But how does that fix you as the person that wants to travel and go out to the place? Like, hey, I want to go out here and have a good time.
Honestly, it's time for you to expand your horizons. If you ask me my
That's
personal
what I'm
opinion.
saying.
I get it.
Everything has an expiration date.
Yeah, but as for those,
But what about the new people? Like, the
it's
people
not
never
really about the
experienced.
people though. It's more so about the cities that these people come to.
Right. And so
Like-
you see the increase or influx with Carnival. So that could be in Toronto. That could be down in Brazil. Like, you see people expanding to other cities.
Yeah.
But
So-
I mean, the city itself don't want that type of tourism if it's going to bring violence. They want to
Right.
get rid of it. They want that shit gone. So they'll do whatever to slow it down or discourage people from coming. And it always works. And they just keep people, it just eventually will go away. It won't be a thing anymore.
That's a shame Myrtle Beach is like that, because it's such
Myrtle
a
Beach
dope
had
thing.
his luster.
It had his run, man.
Yeah,
man.
Freaknik had his run. Bike Rally had his run. Everything has its run, man. But there's no place for violence and fun. Just it. There's no place for abuse and violence and fun. Right. Once it gets abusive, once it gets violent, it ain't fun no more. It's dangerous, and now you gotta watch your back.